Hi everybody, I'm Jerry and was just sent this nice little raised top, little sideboard, cupboard, whatever you want to call it. It's a nice piece of furniture and it all came packaged extremely well. I've laid out all the pieces here. This looks like it's going to be pretty easy to put together. They do provide you with a nice step-by-step instruction guide, which is really nice. Everything is laid out really well. In here, all of the pieces seem to be built really well. It has a nice finish. Everything seems to be drilled out and pre-drilled nicely. And we're just going to kind of go through the steps here and do it one at a time just to get this thing quickly put together. You're going to have your magnet pieces first, and we're going to follow the first step to install both of those. And then we're going to be putting in these cam pins in the indicated places, and then installing those pieces there, which are the corrugated pieces, underneath the edges of these using the B pieces, because all of these are labeled nice letters, N, K, G, F, B. They're all labeled really nice, so it makes it really easy to be able to locate the parts you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these things put together, and then we'll move on to the next step. So we've got all that put together. The next step is to take these 6 and 8 pieces. You're gonna put your pegs in there, get them lined up, making sure to check the notches so that they line up with the back side of this here. Then the pins and these cam holes are going to line up, and they're going to slide in like this into there, and then you've got your cam lock pieces that you simply put in here, and you can tighten those down. Now if you have a power screwdriver, obviously you can use that, just don't over torque it. But if you are wanting to use their provided hardware, they do provide you with an Allen wrench, which is nice, as well as a nice screwdriver, which works well to tighten those down. Has a nice handle on that, so appreciate that. So I'll tighten those down, and then we'll flip her over and we'll add the next steps. So we've got the bottom. I'm liking the fact they provide you this centerpiece support in this. It's going to have legs, but this is a nice center support for the whole unit. It went on there with these 4 pieces there into those set anchors, and then this whole piece is going to set on top of this, making sure that the grooves on the back of this line up directly with that as well. And so that will line up, and then these end pieces, once that sets in, are going to go right in there and secure this to that piece. So we'll get that lined up and get it tightened down. So the next step is to put all these cam pins in the legs, which I've gone ahead and done. And then you have 2 identical sides. You've got a 12 and an 11 side. And you're going to follow the instructions. It's really simple to do. You're just going to take your pieces that it says labeled. It says here, take your 16 and attach it into the 12. Everything is lined up extremely well on this, which I'm really grateful for, because sometimes you get furniture that is just not very friendly. This one actually goes together extremely smooth. Once those are slid in, you're going to put these cam pieces in. They just simply slide into the appropriate holes. We're going to tighten those down. And then the really nice part about this particular cabinet is that they've provided you with these really nice hinges on this. This is a hydraulic hinge. It actually is going to allow you to move this top piece up and down. And it's set in here with these recessed pieces in here, which kind of gives it some reinforcement on there. So what we're going to do is just simply line this up on there, and you're going to put 5 of these little bolts in there. And that's going to hold that in place. Well, these will go in with the screwdriver as well. And we're going to put those in, and then we're just going to replicate the same exact thing on the other side, and that'll create the ends, and we'll get them put in place. You've got these flat black backer pieces that are going to slide right into those channels. So we're going to put those in, glide those down there, and you've got another one here. This middle part's going to be left open. It's just part of the aesthetic as far as that goes. And then in putting these pieces on, you can put them on sideways. If you're doing this by yourself, you might decide that it's actually easier to go ahead and tilt one of these up and then go ahead and do it on top of here. And then you've got to find the one that's got the channel that's going to line up with your appropriate piece. And then we're going to get ready to put that on there. Before you do that though, you've got 4 of these pieces here that you're going to need to slide these little pins in. That's just going to add some extra stability and help you get it lined up. And then once we actually put this on there, we're going to, all these little sticks that you've put in here before are going to line up with the holes, and we'll get it put in place like this. So the channel goes there. All these little cam pieces should line up with these existing holes. And we're going to slide them down in there like that. And this back piece, you got to make sure that channel lines up on there like it did. Now that's on there nice and firm. That's kind of why I like to flip it on the side so you can push it down if you're doing this by yourself. It just makes it a little easier. We're going to put those cam locks in there, tile those down. I think there's about 6 of those, and then we'll flip it over and get the other side. Now that we got the sides on there, I flipped it back up. I mean, it's extremely sturdy. Really liking the decoration on this thing here. They do send you with these adjustable pins. You've got adjustable shelves you can put on either side, which is great. They simply slide in. They give you 3 different options on either side. I'm going to kind of mix it up. Put the middle pin over there, and I put the lower pin on this front one. You've got the 2 7-pieces and a 9-piece. It's a little bit deeper for the 9-piece. And that is because it's going to sit right in there and come out flush with the end. These 7 pieces are going to sit back just a wee because there's going to be a door that's going to go on the front that has a nice magnetic closure, and they are also the decorative doors that look like this. So they're kind of a barnyard style, look very nice. We're going to go get the handles put on those and the hinges. And remember the very first step we did, we mounted those magnets. Those are there. So now when this gets on there with the hinges, they'll magnet right into place right there. And everything will be ready for the top. So we're going to finish putting this door on here. Got both of those on there. I've got one more screw to put in there. But I mean, the magnetic closures are really nice and they allow it to open up all the way. This is the kind of the black on black here with this one. These obviously come in a couple of different variations, but this looks really nice and these go together really well and seem to fit and really snug up nice. Once you get the top part, the top piece actually is pretty simple to put together. They send you one bar and there's these 4 longer bolts that have to go into these secure anchor pieces right across the middle. And then this is going to go on the top like this. And we're going to line that up. It's got those 4 other pieces are going to line up underneath there. And then I've got to put these 4 bolts in underneath. So a little tricky to see those. You're going to want to use probably your hand screwdriver and get under there and get them started. Once you get those tightened down in there though, we'll show you how it closes. And there you have it. You've got your cabinet all nice and put together. This nice beaded front edge here. It's kind of wainscoting on there. Drawers that function well and are adjustable. And a top with a hydraulic closure that can open and lock in place. That can provide a nice storage area as well as an elevated surface as this is in front of a couch for eating.